Hello and welcome to the Killik & Co market update. This week we had the latest US inflation number and it came in at 8.5%, which was slightly lower than the expected number of 8.7%. If inflation really is starting to slow down, this may mean that the Federal Reserve will stop raising interest rates so quickly, and that would be good news for markets. Therefore, when this latest inflation number was published, we did see a strong performance in markets, especially in the tech and growth sectors, which are particularly sensitive to higher interest rates. We can have a look at the constituents feeding into this overall headline inflation number. So the headline number was 8.5%, and within that, food prices were up 10.9%. Energy prices, mainly oil, were up 32.9%. And we also measured something called core inflation, which is the headline inflation rate minus the impact of food and energy. And that came in at 5.9%, which was also slightly below expectations. To help explain why we like to remove energy prices from this core inflation rate, have a look at this chart here, which shows the month-on-month inflation rate for fuel oil. You can see it's incredibly volatile, and that can cause distortions in the overall headline rate of inflation. We've also been tracking car prices quite closely. Over the past couple of years, because of lockdown, we have had big delays in the production of new vehicles, and that's meant that people haven't been able to get their hands on new cars, and that has led to excess demand in the market for used cars. In 2021, we saw a 45% increase in the prices of new cars. However, if you have a look at this chart, which shows the month-on-month inflation rate for car prices, the green line shows that that inflation rate has really started to calm down over the course of this year so far. Also on the topic of inflation, the Inflation Reduction Act has been passed by the Senate in the US, and now it needs to be passed by the House before being signed into law by President Biden. The act aims to reduce the cost of energy and healthcare. Firstly, it will make the biggest ever investment into climate change and renewable power in US history, firstly by investing $369 billion into renewable power, and this should reduce dependence on expensive fossil fuels over the longer term. A number of renewable power companies have commented very positively on the act. For example, Vestas Wind Systems, which is a manufacturer of wind turbines, has said that in the past the subsidies available in the US for wind power have been quite short-term and quite intermittent, and that has really discouraged investment in the sector. But as part of this new act, the subsidies should be much longer term and much clearer, and that should really encourage more investment. In terms of healthcare, the Act will also allow Medicare to negotiate the cost of certain prescription drugs directly with the pharmaceutical companies. Drug prices have really risen a lot in recent years. In 2008, the median drug launch price of a new drug in the US was $2,115. But last year it was $180,007. So that's really a huge increase in a fairly short space of time, and being able to bring those numbers down will hopefully have a good impact on future inflation numbers. And finally, we've just come out of our driest July since 1935, but this week the UK's Environment Agency is expected to formally declare a drought across certain areas of the UK, and this could involve enforcing hosepipe bans. This really emphasises the importance of preserving the water that we do have. At the moment, over 3 billion litres of water are wasted every day across England and Wales due to leaks, and that is over 1,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools worth. A lot of water companies across the country are now increasingly using sensors in order to identify where these leaks are happening, so this should create a good opportunity for companies in the water technology space. Here's the share price for a company called Xylem, which operates in this space, and you can see that the shares have performed well throughout this period of hot weather that we've experienced recently. Please do give us a call if you would like to talk about this company in more detail. Moving on to have a look at next week, we're coming towards the end of reporting season now, but we are expecting results out from TJX, Estee Lauder and Adyen. That's it from us. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.